the next item on our agenda is the superintendent's recommendations and reports. Mr. Smith.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Birdie. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Martin to cover the items listed under Personnel Professional.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Birding, several items for your consideration this evening under Personnel Professional. Item number 1, an extracurricular resignation for the 21-22 school year, letter A. Item 2, an unpaid leave of absence, letter A. Item 3, employment, letters A through C. Letter D is extracurriculars for the 21-22 school year. Letter E, 3 EL tutors for the 21-22 school year. Letter F, academic support tutors. And letter G, substitute teachers for the 21-22 school year. That concludes the items I have for your consideration this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept those recommendations.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I think I heard Mr. Begley, and then I heard Ms. Shorter.
Yep.
Okay, any comments or questions from the board? Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundrum?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes, motion passes.
This time, I would like to ask Mr. Perry to cover the items listed under Personnel Support.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Members of the board, I have the following items for your consideration for personnel support. Number 1, resignations, A through J. Number 2, unpaid leaves of absence, A through D. Number 3, employment, A through O. Those are the items that I have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. This time, I'll entertain a motion to accept those recommendations.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I hear Mr. Clark and Mrs. Gundrum. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundrum?
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes, motion passes.